All right, 20 minutes before the race. Oh, everything last minute this morning. $161.4. Do it one more time for good measure. 161.4. Can't do decimals in Zwift, so 161 rounds down, baby.
Week and how the race is, and here we go right into the men's race. Perfect timing. We have a star-studded field, just like we did for the women's event, with the Brownlee brothers at the top of that list. Anthony Costa's second place last week, with Lionel Sanders back here. Bart Arnault for his first race here in the Z Pro Tri Series, and he's one that has some great horsepower in those legs. One of the best bike runners in the sport, and Ben Canoe, super talented American over multiple distances. So he's certainly the horsepower to be able to keep up. And let's get back to the race and see if it's blown apart already, because this is a huge men's field. Sean, tell us why that makes it a little bit harder when you've got 100 plus people on that start line.
Yeah, this is a huge field, and on this flat section to start, it's going to be really fast up front. The biggest problem is seeing when those gaps open. If you're in the back and you need to move up and you don't see where those splits happen, you can get caught out pretty early here and get some separation between these groups. So really important to be up there early, get up there towards the front early, and kind of just stay present and watch for any particular gaps to open. But I imagine it's going to be pretty packed for this first couple miles, and then we'll see kind of in the women's race, we'll see some bumps and splits happen once we start hitting the hill.
All right, here we are the night before the second Zwift Pro Triathlon race. How are you feeling going into tomorrow morning's event? What do you think is going to be different? I mean, the field, the start list is a little deeper this time. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, right off the bat, I'm probably more tired going into this one than the last one, because last one I somewhat tapered into it, and this one I climbed Mount Lemmon yesterday all the way to the top, and it was a huge effort, and some of the most I suffered those final 4 miles up towards the observatory. Come on, guys, it's not good manners. Stay out of there. Some of the worst I suffered, and so anyways, definitely feel like my legs are a little tired, and they're gonna be tired tomorrow, so that's unfortunate, but sometimes you got to rise. The course is the course actually that I was going to do with the cyclists guys, the e-cycling team, and then my iPad screwed up and knocked me out of the race, and so I do get a shot at redemption on the course, so that's kind of nice. And so the course is the London Loop on Zwift, and it's 1.5 loops, so that it's a uphill KOM finish. The KOM takes about, at pace, probably takes about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes. So, that's quite a bit of climbing, and so I'm pretty confident that, after the first lap, it's going to really thin out. Right now, there's about 130 guys on the start list, which is definitely getting on the big end. I would really like to see that kind of maybe not as large of a start list, just because it does really make the race, it just doesn't split up at all. It ends up becoming just a huge, almost like a Grand Fondo type event, because it's just impossible to get away. Fortunately, on this course, there is a fairly decent climb, so the name of the game is definitely going to be, we've got a comfortable little baby here, is going to be survive the first climb. Definitely don't want to be anywhere near the back on the first climb. You want to be top 10 going into the climb. And then I'm thinking first lap, 450 to 480 watts. So for me, I'm going to say like 6.5 to 6.7 watts per kilogram for 5 minutes. And then definitely got to make sure, because if you're towards the back, it's still kind of flattens out, then it actually goes up again after the KOM. So any guys who are like 1 second, 2 seconds down, and they start to relax because they think the climb's over, they're going to shoot out the back, and that'll be the end of the race for them. So I definitely know guys are going to get burned there. And so then it's basically suck wheel the entire way back down to the base of the climb, and then kind of a little bit rolling back through the city center in London, and then back to the base of the climb. And then once again, I think my tactic is going to be very similar to the race I did with the e-cycling team on the Zwift Classics race. It wasn't a Zwift Classics race; it was a Ronde van Zwift race, and that is basically to conserve energy until approximately 3 to 5 minutes to go, and then unleash 500 watts for basically as long as I can hold it. And so then thinking about the field, yeah, there's a lot of good names. Alistair Brownlee will be in this one, and his brother Johnny. So obviously those are probably two of the strongest cyclists in the sport. And then Martin Van Ryle is in it. He finished the highest in that race that I said of the triathletes that I got knocked out of. I think he was 11th, right to the end, till the kind of final 2-minute sprint that tends to happen on those hilly races. And then of course there's the defending champion from the last race, Jimmy Kershaw. He's going to be one of the top contenders, and it'll really just be interesting to see who can hold. It's going to take 7 watts per kilogram on that final climb, plus 7 plus, and it's a question of who can hold that for 3 to 5 minutes. And then whoever's there and can put together, even at that stage, if you can get the wattage over 900 for the final 5 to 8 seconds, then you'll probably win. So that's what I'll be looking to do. I'll be looking to hold on 500 watts for about 5 minutes, and then the final 15 seconds, get that wattage between 7 and 900, and I think that'll get me, at least in contention for the win.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow. That was so hard.
Good job.
We ain't done yet.
I know. Take the pressure.
Look at the time we're putting into the other group.
Yeah. Alistair got dropped?
No,
No.
he must have had a power drop out.
Oh.
Disconnected.
Oh.
I mean, you can't beat when he stands, it goes over 8.
Why do you think that is?
Huh?
Why?
What do you mean, why? He's pedaling at 6. So when he stands,
Oh, I know that. Just stop. Just don't focus on your race.
well, it's a low. 7 is good. 8 is not humanly possible to climb like that. Hey, look. Easy 6.3. We're all a lot less. Watch when he stands. He's easing off. He's got to ease off because everyone's going to call. Oh God, I don't want to climb this hill again.
Yep, you got it.
I really don't.
You have to.
I don't want to
You have
at
to.
all.
You gotta drop these guys.
I'm not winning. There's no way.
Well, you need to drop some of these guys.
I don't think so. Unfortunately. Huh? That was pretty well all out for me on the first climb.
Well, it probably maybe won't be as hard as.
No, it'll probably be harder. I never heard of all of them. We'll see them all on the tour next year, though.
All right, second race of the Zwift Pro Tri Series is done. Take us through kind of how your race went. Anything unexpected happened during the race?
Yeah, it went pretty well, exactly as I had imagined it would go. It was pretty well full gas right from the start. Didn't settle down at all the way to the base of the climb, and then the first climb. And then the first climb was about a 5.5 minute climb at, I don't know, maybe 6-7% grade. And I mean, I think I pushed maybe 480, 490 watts up the first time, and literally getting to the top, I felt like I was going to be sick. And so I was just hoping that it would settle down a bit down the backside and then through the middle part back to the climb again. And it settled down a little bit, but not that much. And then I realized there was a dude on the front who was pushing like, I don't know, 6.5 watts per kilogram, just pedaling like that. And so generally that means the person's, something is not calibrated. And so then after the race, I saw that the one dude was using Z-Power, which technically was not, you weren't supposed to even enter the race if you were using Z-Power. So it kind of, the unfortunate part about that is it really affects the race, because after the climb we dropped, let's say 20 or 30 guys, and they formed a pack. And the problem is our pack, the front pack, was being driven by someone who wasn't actually producing that power, and so then the gap gets artificially inflated. And so it was unfortunate because the second pack really had no chance whatsoever. And generally in other races, the more, I guess, experienced races, actually the guys in the front pack, we would say, guys on Z, we got a flyer as guys on Z Power, just let them go because it's negatively impacting the race. But I don't know. I knew it was like being live streamed and everything, so I don't know. I didn't think it looked too good. So we just kind of went with the flow, and that did have an impact on the second pack's distance anyway. And very unlikely the second pack could have come back into the race anyway. But so anyways, through the middle part of the race, there was about, I want to say 10 of us together. Brownlee was in it. John Brownlee was in it. Who else was in it? Costas was in it. Jimmy Kershaw was in it. A couple other guys were in it. And I knew just based on how guys hit the first hill that I wouldn't be able to win the race, because I was absolutely dead after the first hill. And so I knew that these guys were definitely going to push even more power up the second hill. And so I just hung on for dear life, was just sucking wheels as hard as I could, just trying not to get dropped. And coming in with about, 800 meters to go, one guy attacked and opened up quite a big gap, and I tried to counter with a power up, but I literally had nothing. There was nothing left in my body. I felt like I was going to be sick the whole time. And so no problem. It was still fun. Still put forth a great effort. So it was fun. It was still a really good effort. Some of the numbers on the day took me about 33 minutes. Average power of 425 watts. Average heart rate of 142. Keep in mind my heart rate definitely depressed today because, like I said, I climbed on Monday. I climbed Mount Lemmon all the way to the top, 361 watts for an hour and 43 minutes, of which 3/4 of that would have been over 5,000 feet. So, I'm at altitude pushing 360 plus watts. So extremely tired. So heart rate for me anyway, when I get tired, my heart rate don't even move. And so my heart rate did not move today at all. Average of 142, max of 156. Average cadence of 79. In the peaks were 5 minutes, my third best 5-minute power of this year, 496 watts. I'm assuming that came on the first climb because the second climb I was absolutely dead. second best 10-minute power of 2020, 446 watts. And third best 20-minute power of 2020, 424 watts. So, good numbers. Was good for 5th place. And, I mean, I know guys are going to get upset and stuff now because, I mean, the numbers are getting pretty ridiculous. And, you know, I think we just got to remember everyone's in a tough situation right now. All the pros are in a tough situation. Everyone wants to race. No one's got anywhere to race. Not everyone's got the appropriate equipment to be doing this. You know, a lot of guys don't have 2 power sources. All these things. First of all, you got to give Zwift credit for even giving us this outlet. I don't think we can hate on guys and stuff saying, oh, the numbers are unrealistic. It's like, yeah, but dudes are strong cyclists. Like, we're not going to deny that guys are very strong cyclists, and no one's intentionally trying to cheat. It's just that the equipment out there is there's so much difference between equipment, between even like from a physics standpoint, measuring power at the pedal versus measuring it at the crank versus measuring it at the back. You're going to have a big difference in absolute just the measurement of power numbers, let alone the algorithms that each of these companies are all using different algorithms, different quantities of strain gauges. There's just no way we can make this thing like so that everyone's like, yeah, it's 100% correct. Unfortunately, the only way you can make it such that it's 100% correct is we all go to the base of Mount Lemmon and we all ride up it as hard as we can, and whoever gets to the top first wins. I mean, that takes out the potential differences. No one's like, oh, well, my power meter read 20 watts higher, therefore I should have won. So we got to take this with a grain of salt. You know, still was a great race. Still, we all had really good workout. Was a very well executed and timed attack at the end for the win. I had nothing left, so I couldn't go with it. So it still was a lot of fun. So I just hope, guys, I know a lot of the pros and stuff, I already can see the bickering and bantering beginning. I know it's going to be strong on this one because there was a lot of big names who got dropped really early. I think we just got to keep this in perspective that we're kind of just doing this to pass the time and have some fun. And I think we accomplished that. And I think if you have the right mindset that you'll see that it was fun. It was still a great workout. And you're only going to benefit. You're only going to become a stronger biker. Even if you got guys who are on Z-Power, for instance, and the numbers aren't accurate, it's only going to benefit you when we do get back out to the outdoor racing. I mean, you're only going to be a stronger cyclist because of it. And so anyways, it was fun. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll go and do a Zwift race, have some fun, rip some big power, get fit, stay healthy, stay positive, and I'll see you at the next one.